So this example we're going to do together. So as I'm going through the patterning here on my setup, you should be watching and making the same sort of pattern, the same sort of graphical representation on the paper that you have available in your learning guide. If there isn't a grid in the learning guide, you should make sure that you have a piece of 1 centimeter graph paper on which to work. You're also going to need 2 different colors of tiles. You're going to need a ruler to draw your line with eventually, and a pencil to make your graph with. So first thing you want to do is label the bottom of your graph here. Of course, it's position number along the bottom. Remember, we're going to skip this first line here, and this is going to be position number 1 directly under that line, and position number 2, position number 3, position number 4, and position number 5. And the rule that we're going to work with is that the number of tiles at each position is going to be the position number times 4 plus 1. So just like in the previous example, I am going to use blue tiles for the plus 1 that I have every time, and I'm going to use orange tiles for the other part of the rule. So if I'm in position number 1, I'm going to need 4 tiles plus 1. And again, I put them right on that line above position number 1. If I'm in position number 2, I'm going to need 8 tiles, 2 times 4, plus another 1. If I'm in position number 3, I need to add another 4 tiles, for a total of 12 tiles, 12 orange tiles, plus 1, a grand total of 13. Next step over, I'm going to need to add another 4 tiles. Let's see. I need a blue one for my plus 1, and I need 4 more here. So there we are. Position number 4. It's got that many tiles. And now, because I'm pretty much up at the top of the screen there, that's as far as I'm going to go, but you can go ahead and do position number 5 as well. And then at the top of each one, I am going to put a little dot representing the number of tiles. And carefully move these out of the way as I do so. Guess you can't see that dot there. Oh, just a little bit. And to make it a little bit more clear, I'm going to label the number of tiles over here on the left hand side. I'm going to go up by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And then using my ruler, I'm going to very carefully draw a nice straight line here through my points. And there we are. My graphical representation of the rule that the number of tiles is position number times 4. The second example that we are going to pattern and graphically represent together, and for this one they've given us a little bit of a different question here. Rather than giving us the rule written out in words, they've basically given us a pattern that we want to pattern. Now remember, the pattern that we are going to represent is a relationship between number of tiles and position number. So let's start by putting position number down here at the bottom of our next grid, and again position number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And of course up the side is going to be number of tiles. So we've got a number right here, number 1. This is position number 1, so it's obvious that in position number 1 we have 4 tiles. So I'm going to put my 4 tiles together, and I'm going to stack them up in position number 1. And let's see, position number 2, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles. So it's 5, 6, 7, and 8 tiles. Let's stack them up. Position number 2. Position number 3, let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tiles. So 4, 6, 12 right there. Now we want to maybe extend this pattern a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna take away this sort of pattern that they give us because we don't really need that anymore. And we want to look at sort of how this thing is increasing. Well, it looks like we're adding just 4 tiles every time. So for the next one, we need the same number that we had before in pattern 3, and we want to add 4 tiles on. And we could extend this pattern going up and up. So now to create our graphical representation, again, we're going to put a dot at the top of each stack of tiles. Okay, and this graph is going to, of course, represent the number at each position. And if we've done this right, each of these dots should fall at the intersection of 2 of our grid lines. So we can see our dots line up in a nice straight line. We can label this 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So the number of tiles we have for position number 4 is going to be 16. And of course we can take our ruler here and very carefully draw a nice straight line that passes through our points. Just like that. And then we have a graphical representation for that pattern that they had given us. Now next there are going to be 2 rules that you are supposed to do all on your own. Those are going to be in your learning guide. So you should make the pattern with the tiles, draw the graphical representation on the grid paper that's provided for you, and then show them to your teacher before you go on.